we welcome you to Bankers Life Fieldhouse in downtown Indianapolis, Indiana, as we get ready for high school basketball today from NineStar Films. Coming up, an Indiana Crossroads Conference clash between the Indianapolis Scecina Crusaders and the Triton Central Tigers. We're glad you've joined us. This is going to be a great matchup between two conference rivals. We've got a lot to prove in the midpoint of the season, both having pretty good seasons thus far, looking for a strong push to get them through to tournament time. Alongside Matt Organ, I am Chris Lambert, welcoming you into the world's greatest basketball arena tonight. Taking a look at this Triton Central team that is on a bit of a roll, Matt Organ, coming into this contest 9-6 overall, but winners of 4 in a row.
And they're a team they can battle, they can grind it out. And they're a team that knows how to win down the stretch. And when you get past that January mark and you start heading into the toughest part of the season, the conference schedule, they come to play.
They're just 1-1 in the conference so far. It's a little quirk of scheduling. They're going to have 4 conference games to wrap up the regular season. You're taking a look at the standings right now. You see them there at 1-1. That number's going to only improve as the year goes along. They'll be taking on a Scecina Crusader squad. More about them in a moment, but they're 3-2. Currently, Cardinal Ritter leading the conference undefeated at 5-0. But for Triton Central, the big scorer, junior Wyatt Felling. He's one we're going to be keeping a close eye on today, averaging over 21 points per game and getting a lot of help from the guard Morgan Seagrave, the senior, leading the team with 4.6 assists. We're taking a look at these stats, and they've got a lot of guys doing a lot of great things for Triton Central this year, just kind of pieces of a machine that's going to come together as we get ready for sectional time.
And you got to think, they're all trying to mesh. They're all trying to come together as one. And when you have so many different players doing so many different things, you got White out there who can just put it down. You got to have all these role players too, and so they're coming together and they're going to be rolling once it comes time to sectional.
So we're seeing the starting lineups being introduced for the Triton Central Tigers right now. As we mentioned, Morgan Seagrave, number 11 on your screen, the assist man. Also scores about 9 a game himself. Garrett Pitzer, Michael Manns, part of that starting lineup. Quinn Moffitt coming out as well, and we'll catch the 5th starter momentarily as we kind of work on the fly here. And we'll talk a little bit about the Indianapolis Scecina Crusaders. They are 9-6 on the season, as you saw on the scoreboard. One of their big scorers is Manny Brown. He is a 6'1 junior, and he's been injured part of the season. He just came back into action the last game out as the part of the city championship game, which they ended up losing. So they are on a short losing streak of just 1 game, Matt Organ. But there's a lot of talent on this squad. Kobe Dillard and Kobe Clancy, some of the names we're going to be expecting to call a lot.
Yeah, and Manuel Brown being the one that really athletic, a guy can do a lot of things. Kyle Nenrip has said this is a guy that he can do almost anything on the basketball court. Kyle Nenrip, one of the famous or most known Indiana Star reporters. A good game tonight, and we're excited to get started.
And we are underway. Michael Manns controls the tip. Naz Lewis runs it down. That's the 5th Triton Central starter. And we're underway as the Triton Central Tigers move from left to right on your TV screen. They are in their home whites. Inside to Michael Manns. Double teamed and blocked away. The shot blocked by Scecina, and the Crusaders will bring it back the other way. Here is Cody Dillard bringing it across the timeline. Cody Dillard in the backcourt there with McKylan Brown, and Kobe Clancy, number 2, just ran underneath the basket and worked his way over to the blocks. You see Manny Brown working his way right to left, and it comes to Dillard, and here's Brown. Stutter step on the left baseline and lays it in for the first score of this contest.
A guy like that, you can just see how he can just make space for himself. He can create.
And Brown back the other way with a blocked shot on Wyatt Felling. It's going to stay with Triton Central, but that's nice speed to get back on defense that quickly and disrupt the play. See Manny Brown getting a hand on it. Triton Central inbounds, and right underneath another blocked shot. This time Scecina takes it away, and we're going back the other way one more time. Fake shot on the outside arc, and it comes out to a 3-point shot that is up and good for Javen Hatton, who is number 41 in our books, but number 42 out on the floor. So we'll get him his props. He's had a great night thus far with a block shot. And Scecina's up 5-0, and a whistle and the turnover.
And you see the early momentum here. Scecina's team into it. They're clapping. Triton Central getting off a little bit slow start. Not to say that's going to continue, but early momentum is a huge thing.
And Scecina coming up strong here in the early goings. McKylan Brown bringing it across the timeline. Manuel Brown, McKylan Brown, not related. I got my spies helping us out on that, but both great ball players as Cody Dillard dumps it down into the right corner for Manuel Brown. He puts up the jumper. It won't go. Fighting for the rebound was Kobe Clancy. Still a scrum on the floor, and it bounced off the shin there of Morgan Seagrave, goes out of bounds, so it's going to stay with Scecina. The Crusaders in maroon, shooting at the left basket. As you take another look at that nice effort by Clancy, got tangled up with Triton Central's Michael Manns, and the Crusaders keep it. Here's Brown, top of the key, three-point try is up, and it's good for Cody Dillard. And it's 8-0 Scecina already.
And you see Triton Central trying to go into that zone defense, and Scecina having no trouble early with it.
Here's a spin move for Triton Central. Wyatt Felling trying to get himself open, and he drives to the basket coming from the right side. He has drawn a foul on his way to the basket, so that's a chance to go to the line and get the first points coming up for Triton Central as Mikhailin Brown whistled for the foul.
Brown just a little bit too late. He had the right idea, but setting your feet, especially in high school basketball, they're very, very adamant about that. You can get away with it a little bit more in college and the pros, but in high school basketball, they're going to give the benefit of the doubt to the shooter.
So the numbers of better than 70% on the season from the free throw line is the junior Wyatt Felling, and he gets the first point on the board for the Triton Central Tigers. Now make it 2. It's an 8-2 game, just less than 2 minutes gone in this opening quarter from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. We're glad you're watching us on NineStar Films today as Cody Dillard brings it across for the Crusaders. Looks to his right. The cutting man is Mikhailin Brown, but they'll give it up top to Manuel Brown. He's guarded by Felling. Bounce pass to Hatton on the left side. He's going to try a long one. Lots of three-point shooters on this team. That one doesn't go. The rebound put back is a bit short for Kobe Clancy. Well defended by Triton Central, and the Tigers come out with it. Here's Felling on the run, going down the right blocks, behind the back, kicks it out. Michael Manns thought about driving, but he's cut out nicely there by Hatton. So they'll work it around the arc some more. And now a drive from Morgan Seagrave. Lost the handle going in, a little out of control, and Javon Hatton has it for Scecina. Back the other way come the Crusaders. Here's Pitzer, or should say Brown, giving it to Dillard, and now back to Brown. That's Mikhailin Brown, bouncing inside to Hatton, putting up the shot. Can't get that one to go, and Triton Central will get a look at it. Quinn Moffitt tries to feed an outlet pass to Naz Lewis. It was just a bit too tall.
Some of those little nerves playing in a bigger place, but you had the right idea. You have a guy streaking down into an open lane, just a little bit too high.
Taking a look at that pass, and it finds our cameraman. Good work down there. Heads-up play as Scecina brings it back across the timeline. Here's Mikhailin Brown. He drives on the left side, kicks it back out to Clancy. Clancy pulls up, left block shot is up and good. And Kobe Clancy's on the board. It's 10-2 in favor of Scecina.
That mid-range game is sometimes a lost art, but he finds it right there. It's kind of tough to guard. If you can got a guy who can hit the mid-range and you think he's going to drive into the lane and pull up and shoot it, that's really hard to defend.
And a great double team there by Scecina. Wyatt Felling throws the ball away as he was trapped by the non-brothers Brown, Manuel, and Mikhailin. And another turnover for Triton Central as they're still being flummoxed a bit by a very strong defensive effort from the Scecina Crusaders team that, as we said, probably has a little bit to prove coming into this contest. Last time out, losing to Howe 89-74. Top of the key, Dillard. They'll work it around into the corner, and here's a shot from Clancy. It's off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound hauled out by Michael Manns. And here comes Triton Central, and they'll throw it right away. Good, quick hands, and the takeaway from Mikhailin Brown. Scecina's right back at it. Fakes right, goes left. No look pass underneath to Hatton, and that's a beauty.
Beautiful pass. It's one of those things that makes it fun to watch.
Back the other way, a quick pass into traffic as Naz Lewis finds his way to the basket, lays it off the glass and scores, and it's 12-4. Don't blink, you're going to miss a couple of baskets in this one, I do believe, as they work it around the corner to the Crusaders. Here comes Clancy underneath, had a shot deflected, kicks it out for Dillard. A three-point try is up and good, and Cody Dillard has his second three-pointer of the contest. 15-4 Crusaders. Back the other way, nice pass underneath, but this time Lewis not quite ready to handle. He picks it back up, kicks it out to the top of the key, and Triton Central saves that possession nicely with a three-pointer from Michael Manns.
It's like we're having an early three-point contest. A lot of great guard play here to start.
15-7. We've got 4 three-pointers in the game already, 3 of them by the Crusaders. That's the first one for Triton Central. And Dillard has it for Scecina at the top of the key, over to Mikhailin Brown and to Manuel Brown in the left side. Top of the key is Brown to Brown. The shot is up, and that's a three-point basket for Emmanuel Brown. 5 points for him thus far.
And Triton Central is sticking with their zone, and Scecina's having no trouble with it early. We'll see how longer they will stay in that.
Morgan Seagrave on the dribble for Triton Central. Gives it to Felling on the right side. Down low it comes to Manns. Manns draws a double team. A hand on it from Scecina. Cody Clancy broke up that play, but Triton Central saves it. They'll kick it back out. Quinn Moffitt's three-pointer is going to go from the left corner. I think you and I are the only people without a three-point left, Matt.
There's a lot of really good shooters here tonight, and that's Indiana high school basketball at its finest.
You're going to love this one this evening. We're glad you joined us. 18-10 Scecina right now. Top of the key, Brown. Brown being guarded by Garrett Pitzer. Now a double team on him. The hot hand, they'll wing it back and forth, and now it comes over to the left side to Manuel Brown, and he steps out of bounds. Well defended there by Nas Lewis, and turnover will give it to Triton Central.
You see a wide open three-point here, and that is way behind the arc. You see the blue line is the high school three-point line. He was behind the NBA three-point line and sinks it.
Not afraid to take the long shot at all. 2:17 to play, and Triton Central bring it up down 8. On the dribble is Wyatt Felling. Felling gets it to the top of the key. Quinn Moffitt's got it. Quinn Moffitt to Lewis, kicks it out onto the left side. Pitzer's got to look at it. Now Felling again. Felling falls down, but he saves the possession, keeps it going, kicks it out to Pitzer. Clock continues to run, and a drive and a whistle as Wyatt Felling was headed to the basket. He is fouled on the floor, and the Scecina foul is going to go against Manuel Brown.
It's interesting seeing all these guards standing out behind the NBA three-point line, because in their mind, you know, our play is run behind the three-point line. And so seeing how they're adjusting and more space, you're seeing a lot more openings, which could lead to these three-pointers.
Triton Central looking to inbound. It's in the hands of Felling, and he gets it in, and a quick foul on the shot opportunity with the left hand in traffic. That's going to send Nas Lewis to the stripe. That's the third foul on Scecina. No fouls on Triton Central just yet as you take a look at the replay. Definitely got in there. And Lewis heads to the stripe. First free throw's up and good. So the Triton Central Tigers are at least making their chances pay from the foul stripe, as they are 3 of 3 thus far. As Jalen Linton checks in for Scecina. Next one for Lewis, so we'll rattle around, and that won't go. And the aforementioned newcomer Linton with a rebound for the Crusaders. Gives it off to Cody Dillard. It's a 7-point game with 1:45 to play in this opening quarter at Bankers Life. Dillard drives to the right side, kicks it back to the top. David Baker is checked in for Scecina. He had it momentarily and gave it back to Dillard. Dillard works his way around the defensive Pitzer, gets it to the left side to Kylan Brown. Brown will take it again. Nas Lewis quickly on him. That's an opening inside and kicked right back out for the three-point try for Dillard. That won't go. The ball is loose, and it comes to Garrett Pitzer for Triton Central. And another dangerous pass. Scecina flies in there, disrupts those passes, but this time Triton Central holds on, and the basket attempt in the lane won't go for Nas Lewis. Rebound, Cody Dillard. Dillard quickly in the front court. The Scecina team's got a lot of speed, and as we click down to the final minute of this opening quarter, a fast-moving game to start off rivalry night at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. It'll be McKylan Brown looking to slow things down a bit for the Crusaders. Entry pass to Linton, kicks it out to Baker, to the top of the key now, McKylan Brown. He'll put up a fall-away jumper, no good. Rebound saved by Linton, another look for Scecina. Here's a shot for Dillard, no good. Rebound again underneath, and a whistle and a foul as Jalen Linton makes a dive for the basket.
You see a lot of hustle early. These teams are going to be scrapping. They're going to go for it, get in the lane, fight for the rebound. That's what you like to see.
Nas Lewis picks up the foul as you take a look at the replay. First foul for Triton Central on the night, and a couple of substitutions to get some fresh bodies in for Triton Central. Hayden Stout and Chris Seifert checking into the contest as we have 35 seconds and change to play in this opening quarter. Scecina maintains control, and Dillard will once again retreat to the Pacers logo at center court and run a little bit of time off the clock as the Crusaders will set up for the last shot. A very entertaining first quarter it was for the Crusaders as they've knocked down 4 3-pointers in the contest. Triton Central with a couple of them of their own. But right now we'll see what they come up with the final shot as we get down to the 10-second mark, and Brown will start to get things into motion as Garrett Pitzer comes out to defend him. 5 seconds on the clock. Here's Brown to the three-point line. Over to Dillard on the left side, back to Brown, open, gets the shot off. It may have been too late, but it didn't drop anyway. But an entertaining first quarter indeed as the outside shots are rolling things, Matt.
Yeah, and you see a lot of people getting open, and I really think it has to do a lot with the fact that this is a wider court. It's actually 10 feet longer than a normal high school court, so you're seeing that open space, players defending inside more, having to make these longer runs up to the three-point line, and it's making for a great game early.
We're back in a moment. You're watching high school basketball on NineStar Connect.
Rock and roll road trip, baby, coming up.
Welcome to the Top 10 Reveal. I'm Katie Darrell.
Woo! I'm Eddie Money. Your mother's a big fan of mine.
We were uniquely dedicated to this new rock and roll thing.
Boom, right on the button. Oh! Right here on Access TV. Woo!
And we welcome you back to Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Matt Organ, Chris Lambert, the entire NineStar broadcast team bringing you some high school basketball on rivalry night in downtown Indianapolis. The Scecina Crusaders leading the Triton Central Tigers after 8 minutes of play, 18-11, led by 8 points from Emmanuel Brown. But as we talked about, Matt, great defense and great three-point shooting ruling the game for Scecina as they got out to a huge start. Triton Central's trying to crawl back into this.
And the fast-paced nature of this game so far makes it exciting, and you got to see how these teams are going to adjust to it. You know, sometimes you can speed it up and slow down. It's going to be who can do it at the right times, who can make the fast break when it counts, and who can slow down the score and put the ball in the basket when they need to.
4 players scoring thus far for Triton Central. Nobody more than 3, but they've got a couple of three-pointers on their own as the long ones have been flying. Here's Emmanuel Brown for Scecina as the Crusaders in maroon start the second quarter. They're moving right to left, as you can see. Jaden Hatton works it around down in the corner to Jalen Linton, and back out it comes over to the right side to Emmanuel Brown. Brown takes it again on the left side, loses the handle and double team, but a reach-in foul is going to be called on Triton Central. That will just be their 3rd foul of the contest, as the first quarter not really marred by a lot of foul activity. That's on Wyatt Felling, his first of the game. And I should correct myself, that's just the 2nd foul on Triton Central, so it's even less marred than you thought. Brown has it, top of the key. Here's that 2-3 zone for Triton Central. Now let's start to step out on Brown. Leaves an opening on the right side for Baker. Kicks it out. 3-point try is up, and it's a bit long for Clancy. The ball is loose, however, and Scecina's going to get another look.
Something you can see with Scecina is they had that early success from the three-point line. You don't want to try and fall in love with it, though. Sometimes you can shoot too many threes, and your percentage is just going to drop.
David Brown to the top of the key to Emmanuel Brown. I should say David Baker to Brown. Not everybody on this team is named Brown, just a couple of the big names as we have a drive and stepping on the baseline for Scecina on that drive to the basket was Kobe Clancy. So a turnover to Triton Central, and they'll get their first look of the quarter.
And that's twice. You know, Scecina's having trouble where they go into the drive in the baseline and get forced out of bounds. You got to keep your head up. You don't dribble with your head down. Sometimes that can affect that too.
And a quick timeout being taken by Triton Central as things starting to come together, but Coach Perry Nash has some things to discuss with his team. Coach Nash, 26-37 in 3 years at Triton Central. He is 54-57 in 5 years of coaching. And you see him in there discussing what needs to go a little stronger here. This is one of 2 games we're going to be bringing you as part of Rivalry Night here on NineStar Films, Channel 9. A little bit later, a big Hoosier Heritage Conference matchup that's going to be a lot of fun.
And that Pillen Heights Greenfield Central matchup, these are 2 teams, they like to battle back and forth. Coach Kevin Bates, Pillen Heights, he's seen what Greenfield Central is doing, but you have to remember, they have a new coach, so kind of a new system to try to figure out tonight.
Looking forward to bringing you that one as well, so make sure you stick around for that broadcast on NineStar Connect as Triton Central out of the timeout. We'll get things going as David Steele inbounds to Morgan Seagrave. Seagrave, the top assist man for this team, gets it over to Felling. Felling lobs a right-handed pass down low to Michael Manns, who gets underneath. Around a double team, goes baseline and scores his 2nd basket of the night. He's got 5, and it's a 5-point game.
Beautiful move, and you get him right by the baseline. Double teamed, finds an opening. If you're going to do a double team, you got to make sure you cut off the baseline.
Emmanuel Brown, Scecina's been forced out of the baseline out of bounds a couple of times, but Triton Central maintained control that time. Back with it for the Crusaders, top of the key. Brown to Clancy, to Brown again, and now in the hands of David Baker, who directs some traffic. Here's Brown again, try to get open baseline there, and they cut him off nicely, so back up to the top it comes. Triton Central defense a little tighter here, but it's hard to do anything once Emmanuel Brown gets his eye on that 3-point shot. That is his 3rd of the night. He's got 11 points for the Crusaders, who are now up 8.
Man, he is high, and that might have even been a heat check shot, and he made it.
And there's quickly a shot from long range from Wyatt Felling, an answer that does not go, and the Crusaders rebound that one. And quickly back the other way, driving and called for the offensive foul is Kobe Clancy. Just a little too headstrong that time as he got that opening, and you see a good job of Seagrave staying with him long enough, allowing his teammates to get set for the charge.
And you see Perry Nash getting excited on the sideline. You love to see that. A guy willing to sacrifice his body gets the turnover.
Inbounds coming from backcourt for Triton Central. They're down by 8 in this Indiana Crossroads Conference matchup. As we mentioned, 8-6 on the season. Scecina is 9-6, nearly lost, but saved by Seagrave, and out into the left corner, a three-point shot for David Steele. His first basket of the night is a good one. It brings him within 5 as the three-point shots continue to fly on both ends.
And in basketball, especially in the high school and college level, the three-point shot has really become, 1A. It's always been defend the paint, but that three-point shot is so deadly, especially in high school basketball where it's a little bit closer.
Great assist by Seifert to make that shot happen. For Scecina, Brown top of the key. Takes a look, fires a long one, can't get it to go. Nas Lewis with a rebound in traffic for Triton Central. He feeds it out to Seagrave, and here come the Tigers trying to get a little closer here. We're down by double figures earlier, now it's just a 5-point game. Over to the left-hand side, here's another three-point try, and it is up and good for David Steele off the bench with back-to-back three-pointers, and the Tigers are within 2.
It's great to have that energy to double team and try to trap the ball, but when you leave open shots like that, it doesn't accomplish much.
Great look both sides, and just in that left wing, they've left him open, and David Steele has made Scecina pay. 2-point contest now as it comes to the top of the key to Brown. Brown will drive, and McKylan Brown will travel, and now Triton Central's got a chance to tie it up.
And after that early success, you're seeing some sloppy offense. You want to see Scecina, calm it down a little bit. That's what I said. You can go fast a lot, but there's times where, slow it down, reset the offense, and make sure you get a good look.
Yeah, see Coach Nash there saying, yeah, everything you're doing right now is great. Keep it up, as Triton Central has started to tighten things up, forcing the errors on the Scecina end and making them pay on the offensive end. Here's Wyatt Felling driving around Cody Dillard, kicks it out to the left side to Steele, but not a shot there that time. He was covered. So Felling on the double team in the paint, lost the handle. Scecina comes up with it, or do they? Yes, they do. Run it down, and save was David Baker. Almost got a little ahead of the ball, but pulled it down, and the Crusaders are in the offensive set. Here's McKylan Brown to the left side, out to Matthew Funk, who will try a three-pointer, and his first basket of the night is a long-range shot, getting into the action as well. That is the 6th three-pointer for the Crusaders, who are back up within 5. And once again, the third straight three-pointer out of the hands of David Steele goes. He's got 9 points in just a couple of minutes of work. 24-22.
You can't leave him open. You got to guard him. He's buried it 3 times in a row.
2-point game once again. Getting an entertaining one here as Manuel Brown drives and travels, well defended by Seagrave and company. And once again, Triton Central will bring it across with a chance to tie or take the lead. And there you see
just took that extra step.
Yep. Felling forced him into it, well defended. And here comes Felling across for the Tigers in white. He's guarded by Manny Brown. As it comes over to the left side, there's a three-point shot that's off the rim, no good for Quinn Moffitt. Saved underneath and laid back up off the glass, and good for Michael Manns. He's got 7 points, and we're tied at 24.
Great high school basketball action here in the first half.
Triton Central has climbed all the way back to knock this one up. 2:54 to play in the first half. Here's McKylan Brown on the dribble. Over to the right side, Cody Dillard. Dillard looks. Feeds it back to Brown once more, and now to Dillard. He's back out behind that three-point line and backs it out to midcourt, in fact, as Triton Central sets that 2-3 zone. And there's an opening and a charge. However, it's going to be called once again. It's Nas Lewis in position to draw the foul on McKylan Brown. Take a look once again. He just did a great job getting set, and McKylan Brown has 2 fouls for Scecina, team foul number 5. So now Triton Central can look to take the lead with this possession. Over to the left side comes to Chris Seifert. Seifert fires it over for a three-point shot that's off the mark. Saved by Scecina and taken out of Seifert's hands by David Baker. Back the other way, all alone, and in for the dunk is Manuel Brown. 13 points for Brown, and that was an emphatic one to give Scecina the lead again. Back the other way. Shot is up and no good for Wyatt Felling. Saved by David Baker. Triton Central player down on the collision as play goes on here in front court for Scecina. The shot up and no good for Brown. Bodies flying everywhere, and finally a whistle will stop play. In the meantime, the player down, Chris Seifert, has had a chance to collect himself. He's okay.
Foul call to Scecina's number 4.
a lot of these offensive fouls are hurting Scecina. You just give the ball away. Not only that, you put another foul on your player. Getting a lot of these early, it really can take away from your offensive flow.
There's a nice bit of flow there as we see the slam dunk by Manuel Brown. But other than that, Scecina really has kind of been on their heels in this one, but they do lead it by 2, 26-24. Here's Wyatt Felling driving for Triton Central. Lost the handle as he goes up, and there to pick it up is Matthew Funk. Scecina back the other way. Linton with 1:41 gives it over to Dillard. Dillard throws it behind him for Manuel Brown. Brown's got it again, driving the right baseline, steps through his men. But a whistle and a travel, and that's going to give it right back to Triton Central. You give them a bit of a lane. We've seen it a few times here, Matt, and they'll take that extra step each time.
And you saw this is the second time he's done it. He goes in and he takes that third step, trying to make it room for it.
So Triton Central will look to tie this one up again as Morgan Seagrave brings it across the timeline. Under 90 seconds to play in the first half. Seagrave with it on the right side, being guarded by Brown. Bounces it away to Michael Manns. Manns and a whistle, and he is fouled away from the ball. That'll be the 6th team foul on Scecina. As you see the reach in, the hand check there by Matthew Funk, his first.
Going to 101.
Team foul number 7, in fact. So we will see our first trip to the foul line in this second quarter. And it'll be Michael Manns, 7 points on the evening's activities here at Bankers Life. See, he shoots about 65% from the stripe and left the front end of the one-and-one short. Rebound hauled in by McKylan Brown. He'll bring it across for the Crusaders. Over to Brown on the right side. Manuel Brown to McKylan. Over to the left side, Dillard. Dillard's going to try a three-pointer. In and out and back in there again. Third three-pointer of the night for Cody Dillard. He got every bit of the rim to haul that one in. He's got 9 points. And back the other way, a reach in, and Manuel Brown will be called on a foul as Morgan Seagrave drives for Triton Central.
You see Dillard here. I think he got every bit of that shooter's roll.
Down, side, and in. You gotta thank the basketball gods with that one there as it drops in for the third three-pointer for Cody Dillard. Now Scecina with 7 three-pointers on the evening already. As you see Morgan Seagrave to the line for the front end of the one-and-one, which he knocks down. 76% foul shooter on the season. Got a chance to make it a 3-point game as we are under a minute remaining in this first half. That one will go too.
Seagrave hits a pair.
5 of 7 from the stripe for Triton Central thus far tonight. And we'll go the length of the court here with the Crusaders, who lead Triton Central 29-26. Dillard brings it across to McKylan Brown, to Dillard once again, to Funk, and back to Dillard. And he's going to retreat back to the logo, and it looks like once again Scecina will hold for that final shot. A second quarter that's seen Scecina get a little ahead of themselves on the offensive end. Some good defense for Triton Central as well, and some great three-point shooting off the bench has closed the 7-point first quarter gap down to a tie game on one occasion. It's a 3-point game now, and as we hit to the 25-second mark, we'll wait a little longer, Matt.
It's one of those times where people say maybe we do need a shot clock in high school basketball.
Brown will direct some traffic. Looks like he's trying to set something up for Jalen Linton on those right blocks. Now he moves with 10 seconds. Brown, top of the key. Splits defenders, splits it again, kicks it out behind the back pass for a 3-point shot that is up and good once again for guess who? Cody Dillard, his 4th three-pointer, and you got to hand it to him. They used the time wisely to set up that lovely play for the 3-point exclamation point at the half.
And that's exactly what you want to do. You had that struggle in the second quarter, finish it off strong, take the momentum into halftime, and you see it. A game that was tied at 24, Triton Central only scores 2 more points. You now have Scecina at 32.
13 for Manuel Brown, 12 for Cody Dillard, and a 6-point lead for the Scecina Crusaders as they lead Triton Central 32-26. Stick around, second half action's coming up from Rivalry Night at Bankers Life Fieldhouse in downtown Indianapolis. You're watching high school basketball from NineStar Films.
A passenger was murdered.
Good God.
And every one of you is a suspect.
Cannot trust no one. No one.
What did you think of the dead men?
The real killer is right here. What are you people?
What are you afraid of?
Everything.
Murder on the Orient Express.
And we welcome you back to Bankers Life Fieldhouse in downtown Indianapolis, Indiana. First game of rivalry night, and we're getting ready for the second half. The Triton Central Tigers have a little bit of work to do as they trail the Scecina Crusaders 32-26. Alongside Matt Organ, Chris Lambert with you. Glad you're watching, and don't forget, got another game coming up tonight. It's going to be a fun one between Pendleton Heights and Greenfield Central, an HHC matchup that I know that we've been talking about all night, Matt. Looking forward to this one.
And those are two teams that, they've had a little bit of struggles in the middle of this season, and now's the time where they want to try to bring it all together and try to make that final push towards sectional. So I'm looking forward to that one too. But this game right here, it's a good one. We've got a lot of early shooting on. These two teams are not going to give up.
Now, Scecina jumped out to a big lead in the first quarter, got it up to double figures at one point behind some great defense and some solid shooting. Cody Dillard, as we mentioned, 4 3-pointers, including the big 3 at the buzzer. You see there a 3-point shot from Manuel Brown. He's one of 3 players that have knocked down threes, but Dillard with 12 points thus far, Manuel Brown with 13, and here's a rare 2-point basket, but it's an authoritative one from Michael Brown as well, or from Manuel Brown as well. Triton Central got a nice run with a little bit of a spark off the bench from David Steele, who knocked down 3 3-pointers. As you take a look at 3 long shots from teammate earlier in the game, Michael Manns. He's got 7 points, but Steele off the bench with 9. Triton Central's kind of been held at arm's length. They got that run. They tied it up once at, I believe it was 24 all, but a late run by Scecina pushes the lead back up to 6, where it's kind of hovered throughout the first half.
And you saw that when Triton Central was able to get back in their defense, they were able to slow it down. They were able to stop Scecina. The problem was Scecina started taking advantage of their speed, started taking advantage of that space, and they hit those 3-pointers. So it's going to be incumbent on Triton Central to get back to those defensive basics, not turn the ball over on offense. And Scecina, if they can keep doing what they did in the first half, they should have a pretty good second half.
Great ball movement throughout the Scecina roster as we go down to the floor. And we have the all-academic team presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. One player from each team tonight is going to be honored. And for this game, it's Matthew Funk for Scecina, and it's Morgan Seagrave for Triton Central. Always great to honor those players who excel in the classroom as well as on the court. And it's something that Indiana Farm Bureau is the sponsor here for this event tonight. And we'll be looking forward to honoring those players in our next broadcast a little bit later on tonight with the Arabians and the Cougars.
Something to keep in mind, that these are student athletes, and taking the classroom seriously is a really big part of high school athletics.
As it should be. We see Triton Central making their way back out on the court as they trail 32-26. And as we mentioned, looking ahead a little bit, we've got Pendleton Heights taking on the Pike Red Devils. That's going to be coming your way on January 28th right here on NineStar Films Channel 9 with our friends and yours, Mike Petrie and Mitchell Gibson, on the broadcast that night. That should be a really entertaining broadcast. Pike always brings a lot of great basketball skill when we see them here on NineStar. But as we get underway here, it'll be Quinn Moffitt getting ready to inbound for the Triton Central Tigers. You see him there in white. His teammates Nas Lewis, Michael Manns, Morgan Seagrave, and with the ball now in backcourt, Wyatt Felling. That's the starting lineup for the Tigers as they look to cut into the 6-point lead, now moving right to left. Comes to Felling in the left corner. Moffitt down in the deep corner will fake a drive. He'll give it to a cutting Nas Lewis. Kicks out to Manns. 3-point shot is up and good. And Nas Lewis, or Manns I should say, with his second 3-pointer, he's into double figures. And just like that, the lead is cut in half to 3.
Good spacing there to start. Scecina comes out in that spaced zone.
Ooh, missed dunk from Michaela Brown to Manuel Brown. Had a good position, just a little too strong, and a spin move back the other way, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Wyatt Felling. So either possession going well in that instance. But let's take a look at the pretty pass anyway that they just couldn't complete the job on Matt Organ. Michaela Brown had a great look, but Manuel Brown too strong.
And you saw the athleticism there, and I just got to make sure it goes in the hoop.
Kylan Brown brings it across. He comes across with Cody Dillard, who's in that right corner. Saw the screen set there by Javon Hatton. Now it comes to Brown again. McKylan fakes the 3-pointer, and back out on the arc it comes. He's double-teamed. Up top to Dillard, who fakes the 3. Over to the left side, a 3-point shot will go up, and it's good for Manuel Brown, who now has 16 points 4 3-pointers on the night, matching his teammate Cody Dillard from outside. Back to a 6-point lead for the Crusaders. Triton Central now on offense. Quinn Moffitt will try a long one from the left corner, and he's going to knock it down. And we're getting right back into that swing of things again. 3-pointers flying on both ends. It's a 3-point game once more.
A step-back three like that, that's a tough shot. And for a high school basketball player to be able to do that, that's pretty impressive.
No doubt. Brown over to the right side, Dillard. And up top now to McKylan Brown. He'll dribble it out. It heads over to the left wing. He's being guarded by Wyatt Felling. He's going to take him on. Now a double team. Step back, and they'll reset the play. A 3-pointer is up, and it's off the mark for Scecina, and the rebound takes a Triton Central bounce. And here come the Tigers. Seagrave across the timeline to Felling. Felling drives, put the arm out. It gets a little space, but leaves the shot short. Scecina rebound, fed up court to Manuel Brown. Underneath, behind 2 defenders, but can't get it to go. Off the rim and no good. Quinn Moffitt with the rebound for Triton Central. They trail it by 3. After a trading of 3-point shots, down low the pass comes to Michael Mans, kicks it out to Seagrave. He's open from long range, and he'll knock it down. And Morgan Seagrave has his first field goal of the night. And of course it's a 3-pointer, and we're tied at 35.
And no fear taking those 3-point shots. A lot of confidence in these games right now.
That is now 4 Triton Central players with at least 1 3-pointer in the game. And we're even Steven. Over to the left side, Manuel Brown. Guarded by Felling. Over to the left side, Dillard. Down in the corner, McKylan Brown. He'll put it up from just inside and drains the 2-point shot for his first basket of the night. Scecina reclaims the lead at 37-35. Quickly up court, Seagrave kicks it out to Nas Lewis. Over to Mans. 3-pointer won't go. And Scecina with a rebound. Long hands from Kobe Clancy pulling that one in. It's tipped away, and Triton Central takes it right back. Michael Mans takes it. Lewis got a hand on it. And Seagrave into front court, driving, and a whistle and a foul as he makes his way to the basket. Offensive foul on Seagrave is the call, and that's his first of the contest. And looking at it on a replay, Matt, a little clear, just a bit out of control there.
Yeah, and you got to slow it down a little bit. That's those times where fast break is great, but if it's not there, pull it out a little bit.
So here's Dillard, Scecina holding the 2-point lead. That was the second tie of the game for Triton Central, and Scecina is starting to put together a second opportunity. Kobe Clancy puts up the shot and earns himself a trip to the stripe. I was about to say last time things got tied up, Scecina put on a mini run, and we're going to see if they're able to do it again. If they do, it will continue with Kobe Clancy at the stripe. Mans with the foul, by the way, his first. And one of the seniors on this squad, Kobe Clancy, to the line. He's got 2 points on the night. First one's off the rim, no good. A very mature team for Scecina. Lots of juniors and seniors, just a couple of sophomores. Triton Central has a sophomore and a freshman among these starters. Chance for a 3-point lead. Second free throw bounces home with a help from the rim and the glass, and it's 38-35 Crusaders. So here's Seagrave. He's got 5. In backcourt, gets it over to Nas Lewis. Back to Seagrave, who brings it across the timeline, draws the double team. Lewis is there to help. Underneath, Mans was open. Quickly double teamed again, but he finds an opening. Can't get the shot to go. Runs down his own rebound, but stepped on the baseline. Or a foul on the floor, we should say, as Mans was pulling that one in. Reach in foul by Emmanuel Brown, and he's got 3. We'll keep an eye on Brown, the first one in foul trouble. Inbounds comes quickly to Mans. Spins away from his defenders, turns around and puts it in. That was a tough shot for his 12th point. 38-37, Scecina lead is 1. They want it back quickly. 2-point try up, no good. And there's a rebound in traffic for Seagrave, and now Triton Central can look for the lead. Here's Seagrave bringing over to Lewis to Moffitt. Moffitt, a long 3, and it's off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound comes down to Dillard. Scecina on the move. They'll look to get the lead back, or increase the 1-point lead, we should say. Clancy down to the baseline. No look pass for David Baker in traffic, got knocked away, and Triton Central comes up with it again. Going coast to coast is Felling, and he's fouled at the basket. Triton Central starting to put things together here in this little stretch of time for the third quarter, looking very strong on offense. And you see Kobe Clancy coming up trying to get the block, but comes up with a second foul.
Nice attack to the basket by Felling. He didn't hesitate. He went right into the defender dribble to draw the foul.
Felling's first free throw rattles home. He's got 3 points, and at this point of the game, Wyatt Felling, who you see is a leading scorer with 21.4 per contest, has yet to hit a field goal. I think Triton Central fans would be quite happy to see a tie game in that situation. And in fact, they have it and now can look for the lead. Felling's second free throw is right through. 39-38, Triton Central with the lead. 3:36 to play third quarter here on NineStar. And across the timeline slowly comes Michaela Brown. Inside. Good looking shot for Jalen Linton. Got the shot in the back, got it to go anyway. Chance for a 3-point play for Jalen Linton. Foul on Wyatt Felling. That's his third foul of the contest, so we keep an eye on it. As Jalen Linton made that one count. Chance for a 3-point try. It's up, and it is short. A rebound takes the Triton Central bounce in the hands of Naz Lewis. So Scecina back and forth. They have the 1-point lead again. As Felling drives, puts up the jumper, rattles it home.
This might be the chance for him to get going. He hits those 2 free throws, now another basket. Triton Central's going to want him to get going if they want to come out on top.
Kylan Brown lost the handle underneath. Lewis came out with it, and here comes Triton Central, but Morgan Seagrave lost the handle. Triton Central's got it right by. Look out below. Slam dunk for Kobe Clancy. He's got 5 points now with a thunderous dunk, his second field goal of the night. And Scecina back up top, 42-41. Lewis with it for the Tigers. Over to Felling. Felling runs into Cody Dillard, or Kylan Brown, and checks it back out. And he'll try a wild shot falling away on the right side. And Felling is starting to find his shot, Matt Organ. He's got 2 quick baskets.
And that's one of those ones where, hey, if it's going to go in, I'll take it. But probably not the best shot, but he was able to pull it off.
8 points on the night now, 43-42 Triton. Top of the key, Kylan Brown to Jalen Linton trying to get it out, and a whistle and a foul as they tried to get that outlet pass out to the left side. As we take another look
Foul called the Tigers, number 23.
at the big
Lewis,
dunk.
His second, team fifth.
Good move from traffic for Kobe Clancy. Well, the Scecina Crusaders will inbound after the Triton Central foul, and they'll go long to Dillard. They're down by 1. In traffic, Clancy fighting for it and gets it to go. 5 points in the quarter, 7 for Kobe Clancy. Crusaders back up by 1. And almost a turnover, but a good save. Mans kicks it out for a 3-point try that won't go for Wyatt Felling. Ball is loose, and it's going to go back to Scecina as Quinn Moffitt couldn't haul in that rebound.
Looked like Felling just rushed a little bit. He had a little bit of time. If he would just set his feet, he would have had a better shot at that one.
I mean, that was the heat check, perhaps, after things had been going so well in the third quarter, but that three-pointer doesn't. And Scecina holds on to the 1-point lead, looking for more. Dillard on the dribble. Bounce pass to the right side as a shot up, and a three-pointer is good.
Three-pointer
from a play for Mitchell, who is not on our roster and apparently not on the roster of the PA announcer either. But it's good for 3 anyway, and Scecina leads it by 4. Here's Moffitt quickly with a 3 from the left corner, and he's got it. Third three-pointer for Quinn Moffitt for Triton Central, and it's back to a 1-point game. Top of the key, here's Dillard for the Crusaders. Guarded by Seagrave to the left side. Here's Clancy driving, puts up the shot in a double team, can't get it to go. Rebound taken down by Naz Lewis and lost out of bounds. Tried to force that pass on the outlet on the break to Wyatt Felling and just couldn't haul it in.
And you see Coach Nash thinks it was tipped, and we'll look at the replay here. Doesn't look like it. We'll get it one more time.
Maybe we'll look at it again. No. Matt Organ with the eagle eyes there. Not a hand on the ball there. Dillard with it for Scecina. They'll take it anyway. Clancy tries a three-pointer, short from the left side and out of bounds to Triton Central. You said in your pregame work that Scecina had 19 players on their varsity roster.
And when you go to Max Preps, which is kind of the high school sports stat guru.
Well, look out. I thought it was a dunk, but a great pass to Michael Mans in transition, and he scores to make his night worth 14 points thus far, and Triton Central reclaims lead 48-47.
19 players listed, numbers not matching, but what matters is they come and they're having a great game.
Well, Mitchell is on the board with 2, and that's what's important here. 31 seconds on the clock, and now once again, Scecina, as they have been wont to do throughout the night, taking the air out of the ball and looking for the final shot of the quarter. Kobe Clancy has it on the Pacers logo, 2-3 zone for Triton Central. It's been a back and forth third quarter, very entertaining game throughout the night, but in the third quarter it becomes much more competitive. And as the clock ticks to 8, Scecina gets into motion. Here's Dillard splitting a double team, dumps it down, kicking it out was Jalen Linton, but he ended up getting it back as Kobe Clancy was well defended, and there will be no shot taken to end the third quarter this time for the Scecina Crusaders. We've played 3 here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse in downtown Indianapolis, and Triton Central now has the 1-point lead over Scecina, 48-47. We're back in a moment. You're watching high school basketball on NineStar Films.
Hi, Rooster and Butch. My name is Daniel Mercer, and I'd like to tell you about the Jam Jam.
If you can't grab our attention in 30 seconds, then we don't need you.
Calling to introduce you to Yip Yap.
It's an antiperspirant for sweaty hands and feet.
I'm gonna check that product out.
This ain't business as usual.
Well, once again back at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, and we're having a fun one tonight here in our first game from rivalry night here at the world's greatest basketball arena. 48-47 is the lead as we head to the fourth. Triton Central has been clawing back little by little in this game, Matt Organ, and they lead Scecina by 1 point as we start this final frame.
And I talked a little bit about that defense, and they started off the third quarter struggling, but that second part of that third quarter, that Triton Central defense really clamped down, able to make some awesome plays on defense that were able to transfer into offensive points. If they can do that in the fourth, it's going to be a great game here to finish out.
No doubt. Michael Mann's leading the way for the Tigers with 14. Quinn Moffitt and David Steele with 9 apiece. Manuel Brown with 16 leading the way for Scecina. Cody Dillard has 12. Those 2 players with 8 3-pointers between them, but just 1 between them in the third quarter. We'll see if they find their shooting touch back here in the fourth. Clancy gives it up top to Dillard, back to Clancy, who drives, back out once again. Those 2 players will play pass all night, it looks like, but now Manuel Brown gets into the action. Here's Brown on the left side, defended by Nas Lewis of Triton Central. Up top it comes, 3-pointers straight through for Cody Dillard. Just the way they drew it up, as Cody Dillard now has his 5th 3-pointer. That's all his scoring tonight, 15 big points. And Scecina reclaims the lead at 50-48. Felling with it for Triton Central to Nas Lewis, now to Quinn Moffitt, and down low it comes to Morgan Seagrave. Underneath is Michael Mans. He touches it, and that's your Triton Central lineup to start the fourth. Tried to get the pass back out to Nas Lewis, couldn't hold on, and we have a timeout called as Wyatt Felling got down on the floor, protected that ball from Scecina's Manuel Brown, and allowed Perry Nash to call the timeout.
Smart timeout, you're especially in this fourth quarter. You just have just gave up the lead, to Scecina. You want to make sure your offense gets into a good motion.
And really, you've got them handy because there have not been a lot of interruptions of play in this contest throughout the night. It's been so fast moving. There's been turnovers, but there really hasn't been a lot of timeouts called by either team.
When you have a court like this, and I know I talked about it a little bit earlier, there is 10 feet extra added to this court. And so automatically you're trying to get places quicker. The pace picks up, and it's exciting to watch. Just a coach like that, Coach Nash, be able to slow his team down and say, look, I understand we're at this arena. I understand we're having a good game. Let's make sure we get good shots.
Absolutely, and it makes it more interesting when you're on a bigger court when you see the turnovers due to stepping on the baseline, which should seem to be a little harder to do with a larger court. But that's the way it goes sometimes. Back and forth we went the third quarter, tied it up at 35. Triton Central has had the lead a few instances here in the third quarter. They were only able to reach a tie once in the first half, but things have really tightened up, and we are looking for a very entertaining final 7-13 of regulation of this contest as the teams make their way back out on the floor. And a reminder, you can keep up with us all season long by liking NineStar Connect on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter at NineStar Connect. Inbounds to be triggered by Wyatt Felling, gets it into Seagrave. Shot fake, puts up the second one short, tries to save the out-of-bounds play, but it bounces right to Kobe Clancy, and here come the Crusaders up 2. Clancy up top to Manuel Brown, to Dillard on the left side, over to Mitchell down in the corner. Back up to the top it goes. Here's Brown. Over for a three-point try on the left side that won't go for Cody Dillard. And the rebound takes a Scecina bounce. Mitchell finds it. Down to Javon Hatton. Out of bounds it goes, and it'll be off of Scecina. So a good second opportunity goes awry, and Triton Central will inbound.
It's one of those times where if your coach knew, it's just so infuriating. You have an open look, fumbles the ball, goes off his knee. You waste an open basket.
Javon Hatton has had a nice night, but that play didn't work out. And here comes Seagrave for Triton Central. Kicks it out to Mans. Mans over to Felling. Felling to the semicircle. We'll work it around to Moffitt down in the left corner. Guarded by Dillard. And out of bounds it goes off of Moffitt's hands. Good defense by Cody Dillard of Scecina.
Heck of a defensive play by Dillard. He was able to tip the ball, hit it back off the player, and then have the wherewithal to not go after it because it went off of Triton Central.
Dillard inbounds and quickly up in front court. Fires the pass to Clancy. Back to Dillard it comes, and he'll take some of the air out of the ball. Scecina with a 2-point lead and looking for more. Defense by Wyatt Felling, couldn't get screened away. Down to Emmanuel Brown on the left side. Had the shot blocked, but Scecina gets it back. The second try won't go for them. David Baker with the miss. The block by Michael Mans in traffic for Triton Central. And here are the Crusaders. Mans tries to get it over to Moffitt. It's tipped out of bounds by Dillard. It'll stay on this side of the floor. And the inbound to be triggered by Wyatt Felling. Tigers looking to tie this one back up. For cutting Moffitt on the right side. No, they find Seagrave. And he's double teamed underneath. Fights to try to get open, count the basket, and a chance at a three-point play. And that was a great effort for Seagrave. He was surrounded there by two taller players and worked his way out of the jam and gets it to go.
Team third.
7th point for Seagrave. You just see the big-time work underneath the basket. And he is 2 of 2 from the stripe tonight as he looks to complete the three-point play, and he does so.
Seagrave finishes the three-point play.
Triton Central making good use of their trips to the free throw line thus far tonight. They are 8 out of 10, making a difference indeed in this one-point game. Scecina has only gone to the line 3 times and only made 1. Back the other way, they'll look to reclaim the lead here. It's 51-50 Triton, but Crusaders with the ball. And over to the right side, McKylan Brown. Back up top to Dillard. Dillard to the left side, Clancy. Here's Dillard again, driving. A little bit too strong. Put back in the paint for David Baker. His first points of the night. Puts the Crusaders up 52-51.
You can't underestimate that offensive rebounds, especially in high school basketball. You don't see that as much. And to have someone that can do that is huge.
Seagrave drive. Kicks it out. Mans' shot is no good. It's a bit too strong. Clancy's got it. Feeds it ahead. Up for the layup and the foul. 3-point try coming for McKylan Brown. And a great outlet pass once against Scecina. They just see the floor so well. And Brown got himself ahead of Michael Mans. And Mans is going to pick up his second foul.
Count the basket by Brown. He'll be shooting 1.
McKylan Brown now with a chance to make it a 5-point night for him. The free throw is strong, however, and now that's 1 of 4 from the stripe for Scecina.
It's still 5 minutes left in this game, and Triton Central, their next foul, they're going to send Scecina into the 1-on-1. That's huge when it comes down to these close games.
Here's Moffitt. Triton Central with a 3-point lead in the ball, but Moffitt lost the handle. Well defended by Dillard. He comes up with it. In front court quickly. Here's Manuel Brown. Around his man and up with the right hand and good. Manuel Brown with 18 points, and Perry Nash is going to call a timeout. Scecina is starting to put together a series of plays here that's got them up by a 5-point margin with 4:45 to play. A good time to slow things down if you're Coach Perry Nash and get his team back on the right track. So 18 points for Manuel Brown, 15 for Cody Dillard. Leading the way for Scecina. Triton Central has done a great job fighting to keep this game close, but Scecina can just snap at you with just a short amount of time, and suddenly you're down 5 or 6 again, and that's the case here, Matt.
And you've seen back-to-back times Scecina goes in that fast break, and they're able to get a bucket. If Triton Central can make sure, 1, you don't let them break out in a fast break, and then 2, you get back on defense so you can set your defense up. Much better chance. When their defense is successful, set up, they're having a lot better success tonight.
Mans will trigger the inbound, and Seagrave will bring it across the stripe. 4:41 to play in this fourth quarter. Triton Central down 5 with the ball out of the timeout. Here's Seagrave. Driving, well defended by Clancy once again. He'll give it to Moffitt, fires up a long one, can't get it to go. It rims off, and the rebound comes down to Emmanuel Brown. Defense has got to be set, like you said, Matt, as it comes to Dillard. Dillard feeds it inside, and the layup is good for McKylan Brown.
And they got set that time, no doubt, but then you leave an open hole right in the middle of your zone, which is designed to stop the middle.
6 points for Brown, a 7-point lead for Scecina. Triton Central starting to look a little wobbly. Moffitt gets it up top to Wyatt Felling. Felling will pop from just in front of the foul line. No good. Rebound hauled down by Scecina again. McKylan Brown has got it. Feeds it up court to Manuel Brown, and he's fouled on his way to the basket. So free throws will be coming for Manuel Brown. This will be his first trip to the stripe tonight. As you take a look at the drive once again, and just not able to get set was Seagrave, and Mann's coming in to help as well.
And you got to give credit to Scecina for, other than that 6-point stretch in the third quarter, Wyatt Felling has not had his normal night. And that Scecina defense has been able to hide him in a corner.
I'll call the Tigers, number 13, Wyatt Felling.
They went ahead and called that on Felling, so that is going to be his 4th foul of the night. Felling is one of the scoring highlights tonight with 8 points for Triton Central. But to the line is Manuel Brown. As we said, the first time he's been there, and he leaves that one short. Free throw woes still continuing, and that'll take some of the sting out of Triton Central having put Scecina in the bonus with 4 minutes to play. As a team, they are now 1 of 5 from the foul line.
We're going to see that impact of that bonus with 4 minutes left. That's a lot of free throws that could come Scecina's way.
Second one's no good either. That was way short, and the rebound comes down to Morgan Seagrave. Triton Central needs some baskets, and they need them in a hurry. Here's Steele with it. Top of the key comes to Wyatt Felling. Felling driving, left baseline, lost the handle out of bounds. And once again, good defense by Scecina. Manuel Brown was on him there.
Again, Felling trying to create something, and Scecina able to swallow him up.
Here's Dillard across, as you see the replay once again, and just lost the handle going up. Well defended by the Crusaders. Clancy with it on the left wing. He'll back it out with 3.5 minutes. And the clock is definitely Scecina's ally right now, so they'll slow things down a little bit way earlier than usual. Here's Brown up top to Dillard. Back again, McKylan Brown. And down to the baseline, David Baker. Working around the arc again. Driving is Dillard. He finds an opening, puts up the shot. Blocked out of bounds by Michael Manns. Good defense, but he'll stay with Scecina. Well, Dillard they were running some time, but Dillard had himself a nice opening underneath, and off the inbound, a quick basket, up and scoring. Manuel Brown now with 20 points on the night. When things even go right for Triton Central, off of that inbounds, a quick score just to smack you in the face. Back the other way, here's Manns in traffic, kicks it out to Nas Lewis. He'll direct some traffic and gets it up top to Wyatt Felling, who drives, throws up a wild one in traffic again. Scecina's got it. They feed it up court to McKylan Brown, and he'll back it out. And some ball movement, a little too much ball movement, and foot movement too, however. Kobe Clancy turns it over on the travel. So 2:41 to play in regulation. Scecina now with the 9-point lead. Quinn Moffitt's going to come back in to have a 3-point option as Nas Lewis will take a seat for Triton Central.
Now's the time for Triton Central. You can't have wasted possessions. You got to make sure you're going to take good shots, get to the basket, and then get back on defense.
Seagrave brings it across, and Triton Central is going to go ahead and call one more timeout. They have one more after this, and Perry Nash is going to draw up another play. Once again, if you're just joining us, it's Rivalry Night at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. It's the first of 2 games we'll have for you from tonight's festivities. And coming up a little bit later, it's Greenfield Central and Pendleton Heights in a big Hoosier Heritage Conference battle. Looking forward to seeing that one. The last time we saw, or at least the last time I saw Greenfield Central here on NineStar Connect, the game went 4 overtimes as they fell to Mount Vernon. We don't expect we're going to see that again, but you might want to run your digital video recorder just to be safe.
And you know, high school basketball can do things like that, and I'm a huge fan of the fact that I think high school and college basketball, the passion that you see, the extra put into it, just because you know it's not just a paycheck. Pro basketball, no doubt, it has its fun times, but the passion that you see in high school and college basketball, to me, you can't beat it.
It'll be a fun one a little bit later today, and stick around on Channel 9. We'll bring you all that action. Triton Central out of the timeout. Now the Crusaders come as well. Crunch time on the way. 2:34 to play, fourth quarter. Scecina with a 60-51 lead over Triton Central, and that's just about as large as a lead that it's been since the first quarter when they had a double-figure lead briefly. And Crusaders have it out of the timeout. Here comes Cody Dillard. Across the timeline with his running McKylan Brown. Over to the left side, Manuel Brown. That's Brown on the left side now with it. Back up top to Dillard, and once again, clock's still very much in favor of Scecina. They'll set things up and run some clock here. Dillard dribbles it out well. Quinn Moffitt on him now. Dumps it off to McKylan Brown in that right corner, and there's a reach in and a foul committed by David Steele. That's going to be his first, and it's going to send Scecina to the strike.
Foul called the Tigers, number 15, David Steele, his first teammate.
So another chance for McKylan Brown at the stripe. He missed his only free throw opportunity earlier in this fourth quarter. That one is going to go. Now a 10-point lead again, and that breaks a streak of four missed free throws for Scecina. Second one won't go. Rebound comes down to David Steele. Steele feeds it to Seagrave as Triton Central will now try to get some offense going in a hurry. Here's Moffitt. Moffitt kicks it up top to Felling. Felling gets a little space. He's guarded by David Baker, who puts up a wild one, and Felling gets it to go. Double figures for him, and here a wild shot to get it, but they'll take all the points they can get here. 61-53 is the score, and a quick foul in backcourt by Steele, his second.
Coach Nash bringing on the foul game early, so especially with the way Brown, they've struggled recently with Manuel Brown missing both free throws, McKyla Brown missing one last time. Maybe this is their best chance to catch up with this 10-point lead.
First try for McKylan Brown this time. That one's going to go. So hoping to trade 2 for 1 in this situation now, but it is a 9-point Scecina lead again. They can get it back to double figures once more. As Brown is now 2 of 4 from the stripe, make it 3 of 5.
Plans don't always work out, do they?
Nope. That may have been the last best option with a 10-point deficit and a minute 43 to play in this contest. Here's Seagrave, double teamed on the arc, open underneath. Nice job by Michael Manns with a head fake, sends his man flying and scores his 16th point of the night. Moffitt quickly defending strongly on Clancy and will have to reach in and foul after Clancy got away from him. 63-55 is the score now.
And that's the 10th team foul, so double bonus every foul now.
Crusaders will be in the double bonus from here on out.
I think you just said that, Matt. There's Clancy once more. One of the many seniors on this Scecina squad. Can't get the first one to go. Still as a team struggling a bit from the stripe. That last trip notwithstanding. But as it stands, it looks like it's going to be a 4-2 conference record for Scecina when the evening ends tonight here at Bankers Life. Second one is good too. And Scecina is going to go ahead and take a timeout now with a minute 25 to play and a 9-point lead. Why not?
That is their first timeout.
So Rob New, as we mentioned, is 6th year at Scecina and overall in high school coaching, 85 and 53. They'll be taking on Heron on the 29th. They'll be at Guerin Catholic on the 1st, and they'll be at Park Tudor in their next Crossroads Conference game on February 7th. So that's going to be a fun matchup where they round out the schedule with Oldenburg, Broad Ripple, Attucks, and Northwest. Triton Central after tonight will be getting ready to take on Oldenburg Academy themselves. That'll be on February 3rd. They'll be visiting our friends in Charlottesville, taking on Eastern Hancock on February 6th. And then at Ritter, at Monrovia, and home to Beech Grove and Speedway to round out the regular season. More action to come tonight here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. The game we won't be bringing you, Roncalli and Ritter, should be a fun one to watch as well. Maybe we'll tell you how it went if we're in a good mood. Ritter, as we mentioned, leading the Crossroads Conference at 4-0. They are 7-4 overall, though. Like Scecina, coming off of a loss in entering tonight's action.
I want to say how cool it is that high school basketball teams get to play in Bankers Life Fieldhouse. We've had a couple Indiana high school basketball days this year, where 5-6 games going on in a day, and some TVs covering it. So things like this going on in Indiana. That's why basketball has found a home in Indiana.
It's a fun day a couple of weeks ago when New Albany and Romeo Langford came to town and had to play here at Bankers Life with free admission. Anybody who wanted to come in. It was a nice crowd in downtown Indianapolis that day, as it is here tonight. Moffitt misses the 3, and the rebound comes down to McKylan Brown, and we'll see some more free throws coming.
Langford's still trying to decide where he's going to go to college at, so a lot of people paying attention to that one.
Yep. Saw a lot of folks in a certain color of a sweatshirt around Bankers Life that day, as I was downtown surveying the scene. Kylan Brown at the stripe gets the first one to go. So he's starting to feel it a little bit from the stripe. He's now 4 of 6. Overall, 10 points on the night, 8 of those coming in this fourth quarter. And make it 11 now, as he's doing what he needs to do to just stretch that lead ever so longer for the Crusaders. It's now 11. Here's David Steele with it for Triton Central. Gets it up top. Shot fake, and a shot up and good for Wyatt Felling. A long 2, and now Triton Central will take their last time out.
And Felling's up to 12 points now, but this is a guy who came in averaging over 20, and Scecina's done a great job, and so it might be a little bit too late for him trying to get going now, where you only have 2 points in the first half. And they were doing all right trying to get around him, but it comes to a point where a star's got to take over.
Mm-hmm. And for Scecina, their stars have really done just that. Manuel Brown and Cody Dillard have combined for 35 points. Michael Manns for Triton Central, however, he's had himself a nice game. He averages 9.8. He's also their leading rebounder at 6.8 a contest, but he's really kind of stepped in where he can to fill the offensive void. He's got 16 points, including 2 3-pointers to lead the way for Triton Central tonight.
And it's been quiet, but it's been important. The fact that he was able to keep this team in it, making this push, less than a minute to go, and you're down by 9. You know, unless you get a Reggie Miller, you've got a lot of work to go in this 1 minute. It's going to take a lot of quick baskets.
I don't know that Reggie is going to be stopping by tonight. We'll have to maybe cross
look at the
our
banner
fingers on that
up in the roof.
Yep. One of the many greats that have called this city home in the professional ranks.
I know growing up, me and my family, that was Reggie Miller was the basketball guy. He was who every Hoosier wanted to be like. It's crazy to think that he came from UCLA and was booed on draft day.
Yeah,
it's
hard,
in the rafters.
Hard to imagine. I want to be like Reggie, but I don't have any basketball skills. But I make people mad, and that's my little tribute to him.
Trash talk?
No, never. Just my presence. McKylan Brown back to the stripe for Scecina. Now 5 of 7 in the fourth quarter from the stripe, and he has hit his last 5 in a row.
And as much as we talked about Scecina's struggles free throw shooting earlier, down the stretch they have been good.
Well, it's when it really matters, they've been able to turn it on. Second one's good as well. All pretty true. A little bit of extracurricular activity down there underneath the basket, as frustration maybe starting to build up here, but it'll all be over soon. Triton Central on the defense, or on the offense, I should say. Seagrave gets it to a cutting Wyatt Felling. Felling, whistle, and a foul. Reach in's going to be called on Manuel Brown. I think that's his 4th foul. So that is just the 4th foul whistled on Scecina in the half, however. So Triton Central thought there would be free throws, but instead it'll be an inbound. And I'm not questioning the foul disparity at all, because Scecina really hasn't been in a position where they've had to commit a lot of fouls here. Triton Central has done it to themselves. Seagrave will inbound. Clancy will defend. .2 on the clock in the first game here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse tonight. Still looking for the inbound, finds his man, and of course it's Michael Manns who puts it off the glass and scores. 18 points on the night for him. Quick foul committed by Manns right afterwards, and more free throws will be coming. Down to 41.2 in this one, Matt.
You got to wonder how much longer the free throw comes up. If they keep hitting them, obviously he's going to be put away, but you got to like the passion that you're seeing, and you know, they're not giving up, which is always good, but I'm not a moral victory guy.
You like those real victories, huh?
Those are a lot better in my book.
Another free throw good for Brown. He has now hit his last 7 in a row from the stripe. 8 of 10 overall. 7, 8, 9, 10, 14 points on the night. Make it 15.
Jimmy Chitwood hit the shot at the end of Hoosiers, didn't he?
And there's a quick foul before we can even get the inbounds triggered, and that one is going to go against Scecina. A little hook from David Baker. And they've still got one more foul to give, so we'll still go the length of the court here. 11-point game. And Triton Central getting ready to, as we said, move to 9-6 on this 2017-18 campaign. Here's the inbounds to Mans, draws a double team, gets himself some space, leaves it short, however, and the rebound comes down to McKylan Brown, and he'll go to the stripe once more. Guess we could talk more about Reggie Miller, perhaps. As this game slowly creeps to its end point.
One thing about Reggie Miller is a guy that stayed in this city, gives back to this city, a guy that didn't leave for the money, had a chance to go to the Lakers, among other places. You don't see that as much now in the NBA.
No, you do not. Of course, it helped, though. There wasn't quite as much money back then.
No doubt.
But it was definitely great to have him here for his entire career. That's the first miss in a long time for Brown. He went 1 of 2 from the stripe. Goes out of bounds, and Triton Central will bring it across. They trail it by 12. Clock will start, 26 seconds on the clock. Seagrave over to Moffitt. Back out it comes to Wyatt Felling. Felling is going to pop from the foul line. It's off the mark. Rebound comes down to Cody Dillard, and I think Triton Central will call things off now. It's a 71-59 score in the first game here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse rivalry nights. Good effort from the Triton Central Tigers as they fought back from a huge deficit. Battled back and forth in the third quarter, but Matt Organ, as the final buzzer sounds, just too much strength from Scecina and too many successful foul shots down the stretch.
And a great game for 3.5 quarters, but Scecina able to pull away at the end. In no small part to Colby Dillard, and of course McKylan Brown hitting all those free throws down the end. But how about Manuel Brown? The game he had tonight, from behind the arc, getting into the lane, the dunk himself. Great game from Brown there.
Absolutely. A lot of fun to watch a lot of these players on both sides of the floor with great efforts tonight. But the victory goes to the Scecina Crusaders, 71-59 over the Triton Central Tigers. We'll take a break and wrap things up when we return. You're watching high school basketball from NineStar Films.
The pressure is mounting on ISIS, and it is time to finish him.
Everything we do or fail to do will have effects.
We're seeing enemy movement for sure. Where are we at with the strike request?
We're good. At the end of the day, what military service is all about is being a part of something that's greater than yourself.
Chain of Command. New episodes, Mondays at 9 on National Geographic.
Sunshine, make me wanna say la 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 la, make me wanna say la 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 la, make me wanna say la 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 la.
And we welcome you back to Bankers Life Fieldhouse as you take a look at the Scecina Crusaders celebrating their victory in the first game of rivalry night here in downtown Indianapolis. They defeat Triton Central 71-59. Alongside Matt Organ, Chris Lambert with you. We're glad you joined us tonight, and we're glad we got to see a lot of great efforts throughout the evening. But Scecina coming up with a 12-point victory behind the strong play of a number of highlights for them. It's hard to really pick a player of the game from our vantage point. We heard the announcement that that was made here at the Fieldhouse, but I want to get Matt Organ's opinion because that's what matters.
That's what I don't know about that. That is not true at all. But as far as McKylan Brown, the PA announcer saying him, no doubt he was crucial down the stretch with those free throws, but Manuel Brown really leading the way. The 20 points tonight, a guy that was able to not only create shots for himself, but also for others. A guy like that is a guy anybody wants on their team, and he had a heck of a game tonight.
Absolutely did. And didn't score much in the fourth, but really wasn't needed as McKylan Brown got things done from the foul line. It was the only weakness really in Scecina's game offensively was foul shooting. So Triton Central getting down about 5 or 6 points, went to the foul game to try to force Scecina to make something happen. And unfortunately for Triton Central, Scecina did, as McKylan Brown went on a stretch where he knocked down 9 straight free throws on the way to 16 points. So overall, Manuel Brown with 20, McKylan Brown with 16, Cody Dillard with 15, Kobe Clancy with 8, Matthew Funk with 3, and 2 apiece from Javon Hatton, Jalen Linton, and David Baker leading the way for the Crusaders as they move to 9-6 on the season. Triton Central falls to 9-7 behind a great effort from Michael Manns, who was offensively strong throughout the contest. He scored 18 points and really kept Triton Central in it with his play throughout the first 3 quarters.
And Mann's one of the guys that was able to do it not only outside, but he got into the lane. A lot of the other players on Triton Central tonight, no doubt, had some great shots, a couple deep ones by Moffitt. But able to get in the lane, Mann's not battling it down low and had some success. Maybe see some more of that. And, of course, you want to hope Felling gets a little bit going earlier in the future games.
Yeah, Felling, their leading scorer, didn't score a field goal until the third quarter. He finishes with 12 points on the night, though. David Steele off the bench for 9 off 3 3-pointers in the second quarter. Quinn Moffitt had 9 as well. Morgan Seagrave with 8 and Nas Lewis with 3, rounding out the scoring for Triton Central, who trailed Scecina 18-11 after 1, 32-26 after 2. Back and forth in the third quarter, but too much Scecina and too many free throws down the stretch. The final score, Crusaders 71 and Tigers 59. As we mentioned, coming up next for each of these teams, Triton Central will be home next February 16th against Beech Grove, and Scecina will be home on the 29th as they take on Indianapolis Heron. So if you're close, get out and enjoy some high school basketball. But in the meantime, we're glad you joined us here on 9-Star Connect to enjoy some high school basketball. And Matt, we got another one coming up momentarily on Channel 9 as you see the warm-ups for the second game here tonight at Bankers Life. But we'll be bringing you a great one between HHC rivals Greenfield Central and Pendleton Heights.
Going to be a great matchup. Looking forward to seeing 2 teams that kind of on a slide lately, 2 teams that are coming on losing streaks, come in and battle out and see which one can come out and break that streak.
That's Matt Organ. I'm Chris Lambert for John Painter, Bill McKenna, and the entire 9-Star Films broadcast crew. Thanks for joining us. Once again, that's your final score. Scecina 71, Triton Central 59. And until next time, so long, everybody.